give it a go. To start our practice, come into a nice comfortable position, either in a cross-leg position. If you find it more comfortable to be on your knees, with your legs straight out in front, however you find yourself more comfortable, because we're going to just be here for a few moments to just really engage with our breath. We're going to start and end our practice with a mantra of Shanti, and this word in Sanskrit means peace, so we're going to be thinking about bringing peace to ourselves, bringing peace to our practice, peace to the world around us, to our families, to everyone and anything in the world. So if you bring your hands to heart center, or alternatively you can leave them on your knees, however you'd like. Closing down the eyes. Nice deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose and out through the mouth. And then starting our nose breathing, so just going in and out through our nose. Feeling that nice deep breath, just recognizing our breath, not making many changes to it. If you have got Ujjayi practice, breathing practice within your practice yourself, please take it. If not, we're just going to continue breathing in and out through our nose throughout today's practice. Closing down the eyes. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Bow down your head and opening up the eyes and lifting the head with a nice big smile on your face. Okay, so we're going to start by placing our right hand on our chest and our left hand on our belly, just to really engage with our breath. Keeping the eyes closed down. Breathing in and out through the nose. Not making any drastic changes to our breath, just recognizing it. Feeling the rise and fall of our belly, the rise and fall of our chest. You might want to imagine that your breath has a colour, so that at any point throughout this practice, if your mind starts to wander, as our minds tend to do, we can bring it back to the breath. Our intention for today is just going to be on our breath. Very, very simple. The engagement of our breath throughout our practice. Breathing in and out through our nose throughout today's practice. As I mentioned before, you might want to think of a colour for your breath. For me, I like to think of a lovely, beautiful orange sunset, maybe setting over the water, to really visualise that breath and that heat coming from within, to bring us some heat and some fire into our practice. 2 more breaths, just with our eyes closed. And fluttering open the eyes. Okay, so placing our palms down to the side, we're going to move ourselves round and we're going to start working through our joint movements from our toes all the way up to our shoulders, and then finally with our head. Give me one moment just before we start, just to clear something off my screen, I apologise. Okay, so taking a nice seated position, Dandasana, sitting on our mats. And we're just going to start with our toes. So all we're doing, arms are nice and relaxed. All we're doing is on the inhale, stretching our toes up to the ceiling. On the exhale, crunching them over. Inhale up, exhale crunch. Inhale up, exhale fold. Inhale up, exhale fold. Moving on to our feet. Inhale, facing our feet towards us. Exhale, pointing them forwards away from us. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up and exhale down. Now we're going to move our ankles in a clockwise motion to start with, really working those ankle joints and waking them up. We may find that we've been sat down for the day. So we're going to rotate both feet together to warm up those ankles in a clockwise direction. Remembering to focus on our breath throughout our movements, and then rotating in an anti-clockwise direction. Keeping a nice straight spine. And relax. We're going to just bring our right knee in, hug it into our body. And then moving on to our left, hug our left knee into our body. And straightening back out. Now I'm going to turn to face you, but you can stay facing in whatever direction you're facing in currently. And we're going to bring our feet, soles of our feet together into a little butterfly position, really starting to think about opening up our hip joints. We're going to do gentle movements, really nice, slow, gentle movements from our hip joints to wake them up. Our hip joints are where we carry a lot of stress in our lives, where a lot of emotional strain comes into our hips. So you might notice as we go through some of the postures that are more opening for our hips, we find that some of those emotions come to the forefront of our mind, which is absolutely fine. And we're just going to accept those emotions and allow them to flow through. If you want to start moving your little butterflies a little bit faster, feel welcome. If not, then stay with a nice slow flap of your butterfly wings with your knees. Just carrying on for 3 more breaths. Final inhale and exhale. Okay, now we can come back into our comfortable seated position, which might be nice to come into a cross-legged position as we move up to our hands first of all and our wrists. So we're going to face our wrists to the ceiling on our inhale, exhale, face them down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. You may find that you get some little cracks coming through. You may find that one of your wrists is more flexible than the other. We tend not to be equal within our body. One side of our body tends to be more flexible than the other, as you'll notice as we move through today's practice. We're going to do some little hand grabs in and out, and then finally making a fist with our hands, taking a clockwise motion just to rotate those wrists, get them nice and warmed up, because we are going to be doing a little bit of wrist action today with our downward dogs. So we want to make sure that they are nice and warmed up. You may find that one of your wrists is more flexible than the other in the movement. Reversing, so moving anti-clockwise. Remembering to think about that breath when your mind starts to wander, just bringing that thoughts back to the breath and the vision of the colour that you put in your mind. And relax. Okay, now we're going to bring our hands up onto our shoulders. We're going to warm up our shoulders. So we're just going to do some gentle rotations, really nice and gentle at this point. Moving around, keeping those fingertips on our shoulders as we move round. And then moving in the opposite direction. And then coming to relax with our hands just placing on our knees. We're going to move on to our neck. Now it's really important when we're moving with our neck that we move nice and slowly. We don't make any drastic movements or any severe movements. So we're going to look to the right, feeling that nice stretch down the side here. And then inhale to centre, exhale to left. Inhale to centre, exhale to right. Inhale to centre, exhale to left, and inhale to centre. Now we're going to put our right ear on our next exhale onto our shoulder, really feeling that lovely stretch down the side, possibly all the way out to our collarbone. And inhale to come back up to centre, exhale to move to the left, inhale to centre, exhale to the right, Inhale to centre and exhale to the left. Now just to finish off our joint movement, we're going to do very, very slow circles of the head round one direction, keeping with our breath, and then moving in the opposite direction. At this point we should be feeling nice and fluid within our joints. We've woken up from hopefully not too much sitting at our desks for the day, but possibly. We're going to move over into, oh no, sorry, we're not. We're going to stay in our cross-leg position. I apologise, we haven't warmed up the sides of our body yet. So we're going to just raise up the arms, bring those shoulders up to the ears, and then draw them down the back. Really thinking about drawing our shoulder blades together. We're going to place our right hand onto the mat, and we're going to just bring ourselves over, really feeling that lovely stretch down our side body. We're looking to shine our chest up, thinking about our heart shining up to the sky. Inhaling and coming up, and exhaling over to the left. Now it may be that you're not going quite as far over as me, and that's absolutely fine. You may find that you're here and you're getting that stretch, and that is absolutely wonderful. If you want to and you can put your elbow onto the floor, thinking about shining that heart up to the ceiling. And on our next inhale, coming up to centre. Now, if you have got any back pain or any injuries within your back, at this point I'm going to ask you not to twist, so I'm going to ask you just to come back down and bring your arms down. But for everybody else, keeping our arms raised up, we're going to place our right hand just behind our bottom on the floor. We're going to put our left hand onto our right knee and start to twist. Now at this point we're engaging our core, so we should be able to twist with our hand off our knee. Our knee is just giving us that very slight range of mobility, but we really are engaging the core and staying, using our abdominal muscles to twist. And then inhale, come back to centre, and then let's take it on the left hand side with our exhale, twisting. Inhale, growing taller, exhale, twisting further if you can. And then inhaling, back up to centre. We're now going to take a seated forward fold. So we're going to keep our back nice and straight, and we're going to keep our sitting bones on the floor, and we're just going to walk our hands out in front of us, maybe raising up a little bit on our inhale. Exhale, seeing if we can sink a little bit deeper. Inhale and exhale, thinking about that breath. Bringing energy to our body, energy to our muscles, and really allowing us to get deeper into these postures. On our next inhale, we're going to raise back up, and then we're going to bring ourselves over into a tabletop position. Now, our tabletop position is very, very important because it brings us quite a lot of stability within our practice and is the base for some practice that we're going to do today. So we're thinking about our hips being hip distance apart, our shoulders are over our hands, so over our wrists. We're engaging our back, we're engaging our core. You can either have your feet untucked like this, or you can have them tucked up. It's totally up to you. So we're going to take a couple of rounds of cat-cow. So inhale, looking up to the ceiling, and exhale, doming that back round, sucking the belly in. Inhale, looking up, arching that back, and exhale, rounding over. Then take 3 more of these at your own pace. Inhale, and exhale, and on your final one, coming to meet back in a neutral position. When we are in our cat-cow and we're in our tabletop, we're going to make sure that we're pressing through our shoulders, so we're really bringing stability to our shoulders. Now we're going to really fire up the core, so we're going to pick up our left leg, place it on the mat, pick up our right arm, so we've got alternate arms and legs. See if we can lift that left leg off the floor, thinking about getting our spine all in one line, so we should have a line going from the ends of our fingertips down through the crown of our head, down our spine, down our left leg, into our left heel. And we're going to remember to breathe. For 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're now going to crunch in on our next exhale, bringing our knee to nose, and inhale, straighten out for 1. For 2, for 3, for 4, and final one for 5. And placing our right hand down, placing that left leg down. Setting ourselves up for the opposite side, kicking our right foot back, left arm comes off, bring up that right leg, thinking about making sure our hips are nice and square, kicking back into our right heel, extending out through our left hand, thinking about our core, engaging that Uddiyana Bandha, really engaging in there. For 2, 3, 4, and 5. Starting to curl for 1, for 2, for 3, for 4, and one final one, and then placing ourselves down. Now we're going to take a wide leg child's pose, so bringing our toes to touch, knees nice and wide, and then coming down into child's pose, arms stretched out in front of you. If at any point during this practice you feel like it's getting a bit too much, or you need a little bit of a rest, or you just need to refocus yourself back onto your breath, please take child's pose whenever you need to. Very restorative posture. Just taking 3 more breaths here. And then coming back up into our tabletop. Now we're going to push ourselves back up into our tabletop, engage those shoulders, thinking about our hand position, making sure that our first finger and middle finger are pointing forwards, our thumbs are facing each other. We're going to kick back into our first downward dog. As it's our first downward dog of the session, we might just like to pedal out the feet a little bit. We're thinking about our alignment. We're making sure that our elbows are tucking in. We're rolling in, so our triceps are facing towards the back and our armpits are almost looking towards each other. Our feet are hip distance apart. And then we're going to find some stillness, tucking in that belly, raising those hips up, heels to the floor. Really enjoying this lovely gentle stretch that we find in downward dog. On your next inhale, we're going to look towards your hands and just very, very slowly walking ourselves in, clasping a hold of the opposite arms with our hands and just coming into ragdoll, letting ourselves just move through a little bit. That core and our muscles should be nice and warm by now. Okay, we're very, very slowly, one vertebrae at a time, going to bring ourselves up to standing. Our head's going to come up last. So we're standing at the top of our mat. Okay, Now we're going to move into some sun salutations. So these are Hatha sun salutations. I'm going to take you through the first round nice and slowly, and then we'll start speeding it up a little bit to get ourselves nice and warm before we move into our warrior series. So, coming to the top of our mat, we've got our 2 toes touching, we've got our ankles touching, we are taking samastiti, we are tucking in the tailbone, engaging our core, engaging our Uddiyana Bandha. Shoulders are nice and back and down, arms down by the side. This is a really active standing posture. Inhale and exhale, hands to prayer. On our next inhale, we're going to bring our arms up to the ceiling and take a gentle back bend. If you have got any back problems, I don't suggest that you take any of these bends. You can just come up to be standing. And then we're going to exhale, forward fold, down wherever you are. You could have your hands on your thighs, on your shins, or on the floor. Inhale, bringing our right foot back, placing our right knee down, untucking the toes, so we are in a nice low lunge. Refocusing with our breath, tucking our tailbone in, engaging the core, shoulders are coming down away from our ears. Inhale, placing the hands down, stepping your left foot back to reach your right for mountain. Mountain is similar to downward dog, however our toes and ankles are touching, our heels are on the floor and we are still, just like we are a mountain. We're now going to take Ashtanga Namaskara, so the 8-limbed pose, so bringing our knees, chest and chin. And then inhaling for a baby cobra. Tuck our toes, pushing back into our mountain. Bringing our left leg forward. Back up to our low lunge. Remembering to focus on our breath in and out through our nose. Inhale, place the hands down. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, raising up. And then exhale, hands to prayer. Inhale, samastiti, and then let's move on to the left. Exhale, hands to prayer. Inhale, reaching back, forward fold with our next exhale. This time our left foot is moving back to our low lunge. Inhale, placing our hands down. Exhale into mountain. Taking a few breaths here. Inhale, moving into Ashtanga Namaskara, knees, chest, chin. And then baby cobra. Tucking in those toes, moving back to our mountain. Inhale, right foot forward, left knee down. Placing the hands to exhale, forward fold. Inhale, raising up for a gentle back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center, samastiti. Now we're going to take 3 more rounds, so moving back onto our right. We're going to go a little bit quicker this time, so just see if you can keep up. Samastiti, inhale. Exhale, hands to prayer. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right foot back. Exhale, raising up, hands down. Inhale, placing our palms on the floor, bringing left foot to meet the right for mountain. Moving down to Ashtanga Namaskara. Inhale, baby cobra. Moving back into our mountain. Inhale, raising our left leg forward. Exhale, sinking into that lunge. Inhale, placing the palms down. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, raising up. And exhale, hands to prayer, samastiti. Moving on to our left. Exhale, hands to prayer. Inhale, raising up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, left foot back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, place the palms. Exhale, take the mountain. Inhale, Ashtanga Namaskara, chest to chin. And inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, move back to our mountain. And inhale, oh, hang on. Inhale, right foot forward, my apologies. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, raising up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Samastiti. Exhale, hands to prayer. Inhale, raising up. We're on our right side now. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right foot back. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, place the hands. Exhale, feet to mountain. Inhale, knees, chest, chin. Up to baby cobra. Back to mountain. Left foot forward. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, place the palms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, raising up. And exhale, hands to prayer. Samastiti. Left side. Exhale, hands to prayer. Inhale, raising up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left foot back. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, place the palms. Take your right foot back for mountain. Ashtanga Namaskara. Knees, chest, chin. Baby cobra. And exhale down to mountain. Inhale, right foot forward. Exhale for lunge. Inhale, place the palms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, raising up. And exhale, hands to prayer. Last time. Exhale, hands to prayer. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right foot back. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, place the palms. Exhale, mountain. Inhale, Namaskara, knees, chest, chin. And then baby cobra. Tuck the toes, move back to mountain. Inhale, place the left foot forward. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, place the palms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, hands to prayer. Moving on to our left side for the last time. Exhale, hands to prayer. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left foot back. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, place the palms. Exhale, mountain. Ashtanga Namaskara. Knees, chest, chin. Baby cobra. Tuck the toes. Moving back into our mountain. Inhale, placing our right foot forward. Exhale, lunge. Inhale and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming up to stand. Exhale, hands to prayer, Samastiti. Now you're going to take a closed leg child's pose just for a moment. Arms down by the sides, really focus back in on that breath. Taking 5 long breaths here, in through the nose and out through the nose. On our next inhale, we're going to come up to tabletop. kick ourselves back up into downward dog. Just finding a bit of stillness before we move into our next section of the warriors. So you're going to raise your right leg up to the ceiling and place it in between your hands, so you have got yourself into a low lunge with the knee off the floor. We're going to move our back foot, so we're at 45 degrees, the heel is on the floor, the hips are square, moving into warrior one. Your shoulders are nice and away from your ears, your core is engaged. Moving with the breath. On our next inhale, we're going to move to warrior two, putting our arms out to the side, checking our alignment. Our heel of our front foot should be in the middle of our back foot. Our weight is going into the edge of our back foot. Our arms are out, our shoulders are down. We're engaging our core, tucking in the tailbone and thinking about that knee going over our front big toe. We're going to look to our front palm, flip it over, inhale, reach forward, and exhale, reverse the warrior. Really feeling that nice stretch down the side body. And then on our next inhale, coming back up to warrior two, moving round to warrior one, and then we're going to shift all of our weight into our front leg and we're going to push off into warrior three. Let me move back slightly. So pushing off, whoop, into warrior three. Now, at warrior three, you can either have your hands at heart center, or a bit wobbly, sorry. You can have them out to the side, you can have them out in front. However you wish, I'm going to keep mine at heart center. We're going to square off those hips, making sure that we're in one nice line. Again, thinking from the top of our head to the heel of our left foot. And hold. For 2, 3, 4, 5. We're now going to place our back foot down with lots of grace. Bringing our arms back up into warrior one. Bringing our hands down to the mat. So let me shuffle forward a little bit. Finding ourselves into a downward dog. Giving those legs a little bit of a wiggle out. Before we move on to the left side. Finding some stillness in our downward dog. Really sucking that belly in. Wrapping those arms round. And then we're going to lift up our left leg. Moving on to the left side, placing between our hands, coming up into warrior one. Opening up into warrior two, checking our alignment, flip the palm, reach forward on the inhale, exhale, reverse the warrior. Really leaning into that front leg and pushing into the back leg's foot. Inhale back up to warrior two, coming round into warrior one, and as we did on the other side, pushing forward into warrior three. Really concentrate on using your foot for stability, engaging that core, and finding a point to look at to keep your focus. Bringing our hands to heart center at this point. We're then going to bring our right foot to meet our left, standing up in Samasthiti as we were at the start of our sun salutations. I'm going to move to the middle of the mat just so you can see me a bit clearer, but you can stay at the top of your mat for this next section. So the next thing that we're going to go into is our chair pose. So we're going to have our big toes touching, our ankles are touching, we're going to bend the knees, we're We're going to keep that nice straight back. We're going to bring our middle fingers to touch the floor, and then we're going to come up into our chair pose. In our chair pose, we're really thinking about tucking that tailbone so we have a lovely straight spine and sucking in that belly, so engaging our Mula Bandha with our tailbone and our Uddiyana Bandha with our belly, thinking about bringing our belly button back towards our spine. And hold. For 2. For 3. 4. And 5. Coming over to ragdoll, really letting our spine just be comfy. Feeling that heat in our legs from our warriors and from our chair pose, Utkatasana. We're going to take Utkatasana again. So keeping our feet together, bringing our 2 middle fingers to touch, bringing our arms up to sit back into our chair pose, Utkatasana. Suck in that belly. Taking nice, long, slow breaths. You can bring your arms down to prayer if you wish, or you can keep them up by your head for an extra challenge. For 3, 4, and 5. Coming over to ragdoll. You can give those legs a little bit of a shimmy if you like. Really feeling that work happening in our muscles, in our thigh muscles. And then for one final time, we're going to take Utkatasana again. So we're going to bring ourselves touching the floor, and this time we're all going to meet with our hands in prayer, and we're going to hold, thinking about our alignment. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Coming over to ragdoll, placing our hands onto the mat, bringing our feet back, and we're just going to take a moment in plank. When we're in plank, we're thinking about really pushing through our shoulder blades, using our hands for stability, engaging that core. We don't want to be relaxed into our shoulders like this. We want to be nice and up on our shoulders. And holding. For 9, 8, 7, thinking about that breath. 6, have a little smile on your face if it helps. 5, 4, really kicking back into those heels. Everything's engaged. 3, 2, and 1. Bringing our knees to the floor and taking a closed leg child's pose. Really re-engaging with that breath. Just staying in child's pose for 2 more breaths. On your next inhale, coming up into our tabletop position, and then giving ourselves a little sway from side to side, a little movement with our body before we take some cat-cows. So inhale, looking up to the ceiling. Exhale, doming the back. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, doming the back. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, doming. And once more. Inhale, looking up to the ceiling. Exhale, doming the back. Now we're going to come to sit back on our heels and move into the middle a little bit before we take Ardha Ustrasana, or Ustrasana if you'd like, half camel or full camel. It's totally up to you. So we're going to prepare for our camel position by having our legs so they are moving at a right angle, our hips are nice and square to the front, engaging our core, Uddiyana Bandha, engaging our Mula Bandha, tucking in that tailbone. If we're taking half camel, Ardha Ustrasana, raising our arms up and then simply placing them onto our lower back and pushing forward. We're getting a nice gentle back bend through here. If you have got any back issues, you can just take a child's pose at this point. If you'd like to take yourself further into this posture, you can bring your arms back for full camel onto your feet and let your head drop back. And just holding here for 5 breaths. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Everybody's going to come round to a wide-legged child's pose. Just for 2 breaths. For 1. And then raising back up. We're nearly there. We're just going to do one final bit before we move into our cool down, and then our Shavasana, which everybody knows is the best part to end a session. So finally, we're going to take boat pose. Now, we're thinking about sitting on our sit bones. We can either have our toes so they are touching the floor. If this is enough for you, keeping your back straight, engaging that core, absolutely fine. You may want to just raise the legs as we go through. If you want to take it a step further, you're going to raise both legs up, keeping that back nice and straight. You can hold onto your thighs. Next extension, bringing the arms out in front of you. Final extension, raising the legs up. For today, I'm just going to stay here. We're making sure that we have got that integrity in our spine. We're not rounding back like this. We're not arching forward like this. We've got a nice straight spine. We're keeping our legs raised. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and when we get to 1, we're not going to let our legs drop down. We're going to very slowly bring ourselves down to the floor. Not quite at Shavasana yet, but nearly there, I promise you. For now, we're going to raise both our knees in on our inhale. We're going to do a little rock backwards and forwards. If you've got any back issues, please do not do this one because you may cause yourself some damage. You can simply just lay with your knees tucked in to your chest and feel that nice relaxation. The rest of us, we're going to meet back down with the knees in. We're going to rock side to side. Really feeling that lovely massage on the lower back. And then meeting back in the middle. We're going to take happy baby. So placing our 2-piece fingers around our big toes, opening up the hips, just as we would if we were a small baby. Imagining that we had all the flexibility of, let's say, a 6-month-old baby. Bringing those knees down towards the floor with the strength of our arms, but also just letting them fall. And taking some nice deep breaths. On our next inhale, we're going to bring our knees back together at the centre. We're going to let our left leg fall down to the mat, giving our right knee a nice big squeeze before we move into our twists. So we're going to place our right arm out to the side. We're going to bring our right leg over towards the left for a very gentle twist. You can have your arms stretched out or you can have them in cactus, however you like. But we're looking towards the right and our leg is moving over towards the left. We're not putting any pressure on our knee, just enjoying this lovely spinal twist. Inhale back to centre. Give that leg one last squeeze. Inhale, bringing up the left leg. And then exhale, taking our twist over to the side. Really just enjoying this lovely, lovely stretch that we'll be feeling down the side of our glutes down here and then into our back as well, not putting any pressure on our body to move anywhere it doesn't want to move to. On your next inhale, bringing your knee back up to centre, and then finally we're going to move into our Shavasana. There are a couple of ways that your legs can be when you're in Shavasana. You can have them stretched out in front of you, as you can see me with now. You can bring your knees to touch with your legs, with your feet, a little bit further than hip distance apart. If you've got a lower back issue, then I would suggest that this is the one that you take, because it really supports that lumbar. So the knees are knocked together, or alternatively, if you want to stretch a little bit more into your hips, taking a butterfly position, and then our arms are out to our side. For today, I'm just going to go for the classic ankles rolling out to the side, closing down our eyes, palms raising up to the ceiling, re-engaging with our breath. We're going to start our relaxation from our big toe, relaxing our other toes, relaxing the tops of our feet, the balls of our feet, our heels, our ankles, relaxing our shins, our calf muscles, relaxing our knees, the backs of our knees, our thigh muscles, relaxing our hips and our glutes, relaxing our belly, allowing it to go soft. We're not making any changes to our breath, we're just observing the breath. Relaxing our back muscles, our ribs, our collarbones, our shoulders, the tops of our arms, our elbows, our forearms, our hands, our fingers, and finally relaxing our neck, our jaw muscles, our tongue, allowing the tongue to just fall down from the roof of the mouth, our cheekbones, our eyes, our eyebrows, and finally the crown of our head. Feeling the full relaxation throughout our whole body. Just observing the breath. Remembering the colour that we saw from our breath. Maybe that colour has changed. Maybe we've got a nice icy blue of the moon. Bring that cool, calming breath through our nostrils, relaxing all of our muscles. to bring some energy back into your fingers and your toes, giving them a nice wiggle, keeping our eyes closed, re-energizing the body, thanking the body for everything that it's done for us today before we made it to our mat, thanking ourselves for coming to this session, for taking the time out of our evening. And we're going to roll over onto our right hand side, taking a moment, pushing through to come up to a seated position, keeping those eyes closed if we can. Really having gratitude for the time that we've taken for ourselves out of our busy lives. Bringing our hands to heart center. If you would like to join me in an Om and 3 Shantis and an Om to finish, you are more than welcome. If not, just listen and think of peace within your body, within your soul, within our world. Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Tat Sat. Bowing our head down and raising our head up, opening our eyes with a lovely big smile. Namaste. I really hope that you've enjoyed this evening's class. If you have any feedback, please do drop me a message, because this is my first session, so thank you so much for joining my first session. And yeah, if you have any feedback, let me know, because I would love to hear from you all. I hope you have a lovely rest of your evening, and I will see you all next Wednesday for our next session. Thank you so much.